This week on NOMOFOMO, we're getting into
Adventures in D-Land. It's not what you think.
mint ice cream,
A humble JayZ,
Fascinators for subtlety.
Winnipeg,
and why none of us are kissing the Blarney Stone anytime soon.
Let's get into it.
All right, welcome to NOMOFOMO. Hello, everybody. This is episode 7.
hi.
Hi, lucky number 7.
I
Well, it's
know.
actually 7.1.
Right, we had a little mishap.
I take all the blame for it, and
Oh my
I'm
God.
so sorry.
But we love you.
We love you, producer Jason.
God.
All
What
good.
happens?
So I'll just tell everybody what happened. So we recorded an epic,
It was hilarious. We were
Epic.
at our best.
Oh my God.
hilarious podcast the other day, and as I was moving the laptop, resituating myself, I accidentally hit delete on 1 hour worth of track audio, and it auto-saved, and it was all gone forever. So that was a bit of balls. I was very upset. Thank you for being so nice to me about it.
We love
But
you.
It'll be, you know what, this is going to be even better.
100%.
You know what? We've had a dress rehearsal.
Exactly. This is the real thing.
Yeah,
That's right.
totally.
And also, people were feeling the FOMO before, and so we touched on that, and we sort of said, okay, well, we had been away and traveling, and so, we sort of tickled everyone's loins getting ready for the new episode, and then it didn't happen.
We teased everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
totally.
so now, it's almost purposeful. Like this is almost like serendipity that now you really feel the FOMO.
That's
so
right.
now we are here
Totally.
We're here,
as
and we are here
superheroes.
for you.
Exactly. So that you do not feel any more FOMO.
That's
No
right.
way.
And now this is going to be, the topic this week that we are going to promptly go off of is travel.
Yay.
Because we've all been traveling so much, and that's why we didn't record last week again. So anyway, we're going to try and get on a schedule.
Yes.
And thank you to those people who are feeling the FOMO and telling us that they missed us.
Yeah.
That means a lot
Absolutely.
to us, and we're going to try and be super consistent.
But first of all, who are we? Who are you?
I am Velji, A to the V, interior designer, lover of Beyonce, which we're going to get to soon. And yeah, that's about it.
I am Jason Krell. I am the producer of this podcast, I'm told.
But we call him Daddy.
Yeah,
Oh. I am a PR guy. I'm a professional communicator. I'm a style guy. And I am a California dreamer.
Ooh, I like it.
Absolutely. I'm Carla. I'm Kiki Carla. I'm a California dreamer too because I just got back from there. And I'm an Aquarian. That's all.
And there you go. And that's all
That
you
says
need.
it. That says it all.
That's
Is
all
that
you
like a new term for an Aquarius superfan? Or.
Both.
Oh,
exactly.
yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So there you go.
need. Okay.
Okay,
All
well,
right.
I love me some Aquaria.
100%.
I love being a water bearer.
There you go. What else?
And the voice of all mothers.
Yes,
right. We can't forget that.
absolutely.
And
Can't forget
Kiki
that.
Carla, you probably won Mother of the Year in the last week.
True.
And maybe Daughter of the Year.
True.
Because, tell everybody what happened to you this week.
So, just like an athlete winning the big trophy at a sports ball game, I went to Disneyland.
Yay!
It was so fun. So I went with my elderly mother and my 2 children, and I held that sandwich all together, and we smashed it. We did 4 days at Disneyland and California Adventure, and then 1 day at Universal Studios at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and somehow I was able to smash almost all the rides. We ate. We had so much fun. It was absolutely fantastic. Nobody does it better than Disney.
You ripped Mickey a new a-hole.
Completely. I twirled, I swirled, I sang Part of Your World at the top of my lungs.
Yeah, you did.
I felt my fantasy.
Oh my God, I love it.
100%. And the best thing is that Disney is so queer. There's so many representations of the community, and it was so beautiful to see. And I'm just getting chills thinking about it right now.
So how did you see the community at Disneyland? What was happening?
Lots of lesbians.
Oh.
Oh, honey, everywhere.
Really?
It was a food and wine festival,
Okay.
like the Catalina wine mixer, but better.
Oh my!
So were they all like stomping those grapes, or what were they doing?
Oh my god!
Tell me.
No, they were hand in hand drinking wine, loving
that's
up. It was
lovely.
beautiful. And the cool thing was that there was like rainbow Mickey ears, there was rainbow Mickey pins. It was absolutely fantastic.
So they are embracing the gay.
Absolutely.
Over at Disneyland.
100%.
Well, gay day at Disney is a huge deal.
Exactly. And Elsa's a lesbian.
Oh.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Is this confirmed?
On the internet.
Oh,
but
okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So not too sure if she's going to have a relationship. But yes, the internets are like, Elsa's gay.
Dang.
And then also, Gaston, do you remember Gaston's little man who sings the song, an ode to Gaston?
Yes.
Yes. You know, no one's got a, big clift in his chin like Gaston. He's gay. He was gay at the end of the real action Beauty and the Beast movie.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So
Well,
go Disney.
Go Disney is
Thank
right.
you.
Wow.
They didn't have a big coming out party at Disney for all these gay characters.
Well, they need to. It's coming. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A big coming out party. I would love it. I would attend.
Absolutely. So
attend
it
that
was
party.
well, and what we need to do is get matching shirts because apparently that's like a big thing there. Like everyone has matching squad shirts or Disneyland 2019 family trip or whatever. So it's just like you can see them everywhere they go, what sort of group that they're in. So I did not know about this t-shirt thing before I went.
So you did not have t-shirts made then?
Unfortunately, I'm not a t-shirt girl in the first place anyway because I got some bosoms. So,
Yeah, you do.
I don't
didn't notice.
enjoy.
You got them girls.
I don't enjoy a regular Hanes tee. That doesn't really work for me.
No. That's so awesome. And speaking of like when you're wearing the same shirt, it's almost like it's a great kind of finding tool in case you lose someone, right? Which is bound to happen.
Yeah. Well, you know what we used to do when I was traveling with my parents?
Yes.
My dad was one who would get lost all the time, right? And not because he took off on us. He didn't abandon us. But
he just saw a shiny thing.
He just saw something that caught his eye. He'd be like, "Oh, what's this?" And he would just stop and move 10 steps in the other direction, which is enough to
lesbians.
lose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look. So, but what we used to do, because my dad's tall like me, is we would put him in a hat. And it was a fairly big hat. I mean, not like a wizard hat or anything.
A Dr. Seuss hat?
But like a nice, stylish, travel hat.
Like a stylish top hat.
Yeah, appropriate for Disney. But then it was always easy to find him.
Yes.
So I like this tip. I'm going to start wearing big old hats when I go to amusement parks.
I love the t-shirt idea though, because I'm a huge fan of getting t-shirts made. Like I went to the Lady Gaga concert and had Gaga t-shirt made.
Yes.
My very first trip to Amsterdam that I took with my gays, we went and I had t-shirts made for all of us.
Love it.
And I think it's a really fun thing to do. I think it's really cute, t-shirts. I think they're awesome.
Absolutely.
But you gotta have the high quality t-shirts, not the cheapy,
no, you can't.
weirdy, scratchy t-shirts.
You have no scratchies.
I hate the scratchy
I hate that
t-shirts.
so much. If I can feel it on my I was gonna say thorax. If I can feel it on my
oh my god.
If I could feel it on my clavicle,
there you go.
I just want to rip my skin off. Yeah.
I have to know, did you or did you not eat one of those giant turkey legs at Disneyland?
Unfortunately, I did not. So that's on the bucket list for next time.
Okay, can I just say how much those big, ginormous turkey legs gross me out? They look like a plastic toy. Like, they don't even look real.
They don't.
And they're gross. They're like all smoky and...
Really?
Oh my god.
You know what? They're actually really good. I've had one, and they are really good.
No.
However, eating them is a bit of a challenge because they give you, like, a piece of wax paper the size of a postage stamp as a tool. And this thing is like, this is like carrying around, like, a 10-pound dumbbell. It's gigantic. And, you are literally, like, just... covered in turkey juice.
Nobody's looking classy eating a giant turkey leg. Let me just tell you that. And I just find them to be super gross.
Well, maybe that's why Disney's inspiring the sex, because maybe, you gotta kind of lick each other's fingers. And...
there you go. There you go.
Well, we'll keep that in mind when we go for Gay Day at Disneyland.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
T-shirts, we're on
T-shirts,
it.
all of it.
Playing hide the turkey leg all over Disneyland.
Cashmere T-shirts.
Totally. Softer the better.
Kit and Ace, look out.
Yeah,
Freak out.
totally.
Oh, God. Allie, what happened to you this week?
So like you said, we've been doing a lot of traveling. I was traveling for work, and I was in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Ooh.
Yes.
I'm wearing the T-shirt.
With Lancaster.
Oh,
yeah,
that says Lancaster.
Totally. Yeah,
It's got a picture of an Amish guy, and it says plain AF, which I like a lot.
Yeah, I saw the T-shirt and I had to get that for you. But I have to say how much I love Pennsylvania. It is so beautiful out there. It's magical. They have, farmland. I don't know. I just loved it so much. So that's where I was doing a photo shoot with a few designer friends of mine, which was really
Fabulous.
fun. And so yeah, we've been doing a lot of traveling. And then I got back. I was back for like less than a week. And then Jason and I went on our press tour, which was awesome for the Style Guys. So we were in Winnipeg. We were in Vancouver. We did Edmonton. And so something really kind of special. I don't know if I would call it special, but something really interesting happened to us while we were in Vancouver. We were at the airport getting ourselves a Starbucks, as you do.
As you do.
And so the person in front of us in line at the Starbucks was a WestJet employee. And WestJet is an airline here in Canada. And so she was going to pay for her coffee and her little treat that she was having, and she didn't have her wallet. Girl, that's right. So she was kind of panicking, and so Jason and I were just like, well, we'll just get your coffee. Don't worry about it.
Of course.
We'll get your coffee.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Who cares?
she was so delighted and happy, and it just kind of gave us all the feels.
The fuzzies.
Right? Like, it was just so
Yes.
nice to buy coffee for someone, and it's something that I don't think a lot of people do.
True.
Like, all of a sudden, I think, people just don't like to interact with other people at
Yes.
the airport or in
Yes.
a public place. And, you see something, or you see somebody drop something or whatever it is. And a lot of people I've seen don't even do anything.
Sure.
They don't even say anything.
Yes.
It's so strange. So anyway, she was super happy, and that made us really happy. And, because when you're traveling, you're at the airport, sometimes you can get, I know I actually can get a little cranky.
Of course.
And it's just not traveling is just not glam anymore. But this is just a really nice thing that happened. So just wanted to talk about it.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
so
and,
sweet.
really, we owe WestJet because the amount of times that a flight attendant has given us free vodka, free bubbles, whatever, and it's only because we're nice to them, right?
Yes.
I mean, I think flight attendants are used to people being a little bit cranky,
Yes.
maybe they're not on their best behavior, but I think when you're extra nice to them and you lay it on thick
Yes.
and you bat your eyelashes at a little, gay flighty, then
Oh, yeah.
you're gonna get a little extra.
You're going to
vodka.
get that champers. Totally. Nothing
Well,
wrong
kindness
with that.
goes a long way.
It does.
100%.
You
but
catch more bees with honey than you do with vinegar,
that's so true.
as they
Amen.
say.
But, you're kind of lucky that because she just got like a regular coffee, or did she get like a full like venti triple pump?
No, it was just a regular coffee.
Okay, phew.
That's it. Yes, exactly.
yeah,
it
like-
wasn't like a green tea latte with like half a pump of this and half a pump of that and extra hot and
a breakfast sandwich
no.
and an egg sous vide.
Yeah, totally.
And
Oh my gosh.
Oh, although I could get behind, I would be like, well, can I have one of the egg sous vide? Like, it's got two in a package. You have one, I'll have the
Share,
other
and
one.
then there you go. We'll call it even. How about that?
it was made in a bath. It was born in a bath, after all.
That's right.
It's fabulous.
Sous vide. That's so funny. What happened to you, Jason?
Well, you were along the ride for most of it, so you pretty much know what happened. But I do want to bring up one thing that happened to me this week, and it sparked controversy
True.
online. It was
Well,
major controversy.
yes.
And so what happened was we were, we're doing all this traveling. We found a lovely little place to hang out in Winnipeg called The Forks, which we had never been to, and it was really, really nice. It's like a big, kind of like a food hall,
Sure.
beer hall. You can get yourself a pint or a glass of wine and walk around the shops and lots of restaurants. So it
Did
was-
you say, what the forks?
What the
forks?
I would have.
What, I said, what the forks? We're in Winnipeg. It's So we had a really nice dinner, and then we decided, you know what? Let's get an ice cream.
Sure.
Because I feel like when you travel, that's for me one thing that I don't eat a lot of at home.
Same.
I'm not a big dessert person, period, but you know, when you're traveling, there's something about getting an ice cream is like your God-given right.
It's appellant.
It's appellant. Yeah.
So we went and got ice cream. And so here's what happened, though, is, you know, God, I'm going off topic a lot. But we get our ice creams, we go up, we're ordering, and I ordered a mint chocolate chip ice cream. Allie looked at me like I just farted in the middle of the food hall. He was disgusted. Now, this is not the first time he's seen me eat a mint chocolate chip ice cream. I enjoy
But
the mint chocolate chip. But he was just like, there are like 25 flavors in front of you, and that's what you pick.
I just find it to be so gross. Like, just the mixture of the coldness with the chocolate and then the mint. I don't know. I'm not a fan, and I actually don't even like the flavor combination. Like, you know, I'll have like an after 8 if, you know, I'm at my grandpa's place or something and they just have a tray of them or whatever it is, and you just put one in your mouth because, you know, it's there.
Yeah, you're desperate.
Yeah.
Nothing else to do.
Because you're so bored. I get it.
But I don't know. And so we actually put it out on social media. Well, Jason did, and then I did, and there is no in between when it comes to a mint chocolate chip. It's either a love or it's a hate.
It is the cilantro of ice cream.
Yes.
Very that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is the JayZ of ice cream.
Oh.
You love or you hate.
Yeah.
True.
It's
That
true.
is it. So that, I mean, I'd love to know what people think about it. What do you guys, obviously Allie doesn't like. Carla, can you be the tiebreaker here?
Yes, yeah.
Yay or nay to the mint chocolate chip ice
I'll
cream?
be the swing vote. I speak on behalf of all mothers and all ladies.
Yes.
And my vote is, it's nasty. It's gross. It's nasty. I hate it. No, thank you. The green. It's gross.
All right.
And there you have it.
Haters.
sorry.
You guys are haters.
We still love you.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
Even
just-
though I delete podcasts and eat mint ice cream.
And eat me. Yes, all the things.
I get
but we
your-
still love you.
See, we don't have to
Support.
agree on everything.
No, we don't.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But-
And also, for our listeners out there, please feel free to comment on
Yes,
our
let us
Facebook
know.
page, on our Instagram, and let us know how you feel about the mint chocolate
Yeah.
chip. Because we would like to put it out there and just kind of see what the consensus is.
We need to know these things.
We do need to know these things. Yes.
That's right. And, you know, I think on the topic, you know, going back to JayZ, you know, let's talk about what's happening in pop culture this
Yes.
week. Because it's been busy.
Oh my God.
We've
it
had
has
2
been.
weeks. There's a lot has gone down. And let's start with JayZ and Beyonce. They have been our allies.
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So they won the Vanguard. Well, they accepted the Vanguard Award at the at this year's GLAAD Media Awards in Los Angeles, and you know their speech was beautiful. I really, really felt that it was genuine. I mean, JayZ's mom is a lesbian, and Beyonce.
Was she at Disneyland?
I didn't see her.
Okay.
But next time I'll ask them to let me know in advance.
And then Beyonce's uncle, who basically raised Beyonce and Solange, was a really big factor in Beyonce's life. And he unfortunately died of AIDS. So she brought him up in her speech, and it was lovely. It was heartfelt. And this is the first time we've seen JayZ act a little not so kind of like I'm a gangster rapper.
Yeah.
And it was lovely to see that.
Yeah, he was a little bit more
softer side
humble.
of JayZ.
He was
Yes.
humble.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He was soft-spoken.
Yes.
Humble is the perfect word
Yes.
for that. And I appreciated his demeanor, and I appreciated the fact that he understood where he was and what world he was coming from and his place moving forward in helping to erase and combat bigotry and toxic masculinity as well.
Absolutely.
And
The
he did
stigma.
it all in a blush blazer, looking good. His hair's a little bit
hair.
longer.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks good. I like that look.
I liked it a
Absolutely.
lot.
Yeah.
I really liked that look a lot. And I'm also gonna say I hated what Beyonce was wearing. I'm sorry, but I loved. You guys know I am the #1 fan of
Super
Miss
fan.
Beyonce.
Yes.
Super fan. I love her, but that oversized blazer that she was wearing, like, I'm just like, Beyonce, you could have. This is the fucking GLAAD Awards. You're in front of like a billion gays. Like, bring it.
Yes. Talk to Shangela
Totally. Who performed
in front of you.
Oh my god, it was incredible.
And let's talk about this, because we watched all the Instagram clips.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome.
Oh, Shangela did such a good job.
She took it all the way there.
Oh yeah. Oh totally.
And so after she performed, this was so great too, is Beyonce gave her a standing ovation.
Hallelujah.
Can you imagine if Beyonce gave you even a little golf clap for something? That would be
Goodness.
major. Or even looked you in the eye.
Oh my
Yes.
god. Oh my god. I feel like Shangela is really one of the most successful drag stars to come out of RuPaul's Drag Race.
100%.
I think, she has been in movies. She has photos with Gaga. Now she's like performing for Beyonce. Like, it's incredible. And I have to say, I have been a fan from #1. Like, the
Same.
first time I saw Shangela, I was like, oh my god, I love her so much. I loved her sass. I love how funny she was. Even though her drag was a little ratchet at first. I mean, yeah, a lot. She did not bring it, but she brought it for me.
Yes.
And I loved it, and I don't know, I'm just so proud. I
Same,
think it's so
same.
amazing to see,
Same.
Well, the whole thing, just to see major award shows like this, and there is such a strong queer voice in these.
Yes.
In this day and age, it's really exciting, and thanks Shangela for
Totally.
not only just being there and representing, but for fucking killing it.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, she's a professional
She
after all.
is, yes.
That's right. As are we when we're not deleting the podcast
Totally.
after we record them.
But you know what? There was a little bit of a backlash from JayZ and Beyonce getting this award.
Yes, yeah.
There was a lot of people that felt that they didn't deserve it, and just because he said one thing in one song about his mom does not make him a huge, LGBTQ supporter.
Right, and I don't think he always has been, right? He's kept up with all of his homies.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's been the leader of the homies.
He's been the leader of the homies, toeing the line of this toxic masculinity, this, I'm tough.
Yes.
And,
He was
you
the
can't be
Regina
nice.
King.
Yeah, you can't be nice to the gays or even acknowledge them. But, so what do we do about this? How do we feel? Can we recognize that he's evolving?
Yeah.
And that he's changing, and maybe that's just fine. Maybe we can let him off the hook. Or do we still have to, proceed with a little bit of caution and be like, well, I don't know, JayZ, you haven't always been an ally.
Yeah.
How do we reconcile this?
Well, I think just as they proved in their speech what they are doing to move forward, it always goes back to show me the receipts. If he keeps showing us the receipts, as does Beyonce, supporting, putting humanity above the fickleness of a fan base.
Yeah.
They have their own streaming service. They don't answer to anyone. They don't answer to a record company.
That's right.
So they have complete autonomy in who they are as artists. So they have no excuses anymore to say, well, I didn't want to offend
Totally. Or my
such and
record
such.
company said this and I couldn't do that.
Yes.
And they have restrictions or whatever. It's like, well, you don't have any now. So.
Yeah, they call the shots. I mean, come on, them's rich.
So I think as long Maria just keeps showing me the receipts, and I think that everyone should and have the ability to apologize and move on and do better.
Of
Okay,
course.
snaps for JayZ.
Yay! And his hair.
And his hair.
And that blazer.
Yes.
Now, the other thing that's happening in pop culture this week is, as we were traveling, we were having brunch in our hotel. What comes up on the TV screen? CNN. All about Jussie. Jussie Smollett has now been. I don't know if I want to use the right term because I know it gets very legalese, but he basically is off the hook.
Yes.
For this whole situation, getting set up as a hate crime, all the rest of it. Now, it's not clear to me that he's innocent.
It's not black and white. There is a lot of gray, shady things that are going on that I don't feel like we're privy to all of this information, because all of a sudden, there's just no way that they held a press conference, like, oh, breaking news, press conference in the morning, he's not guilty, and that's it.
Yes.
Well, I don't think they said he wasn't guilty.
Well,
but the charges were dismissed.
The charges were dismissed, and I think this came from the fact that the Chicago Police Department did such a piss-poor job of handling this. They did press conferences where they're saying that he is guilty, shame on him. He hadn't even had his day in court. So I think that they really stepped in some doo-doo and basically was like, this is over now.
So, but how are the charges dropped, yet he's not guilty? Like,
I don't know.
How does that even work? Like, what? Like somebody murdered somebody, and as long as the charges are dropped, they could have murdered somebody, but they're not getting charged anymore. Like, it doesn't even make any sense to me.
Here's my guess. I think it became a huge PR nightmare.
Sure.
For the Chicago
For
Police
everyone.
Department.
Yeah. Yes.
For
And
everyone.
he has got this amazing lawyer behind him, and apparently he's related to some people in Congress as well. So this is the other thing that people are saying, like, is a little bit shady, is that Jussie's aunt is like a congresswoman.
Aunt Becky? Did Aunt Becky do all this too?
Aunt Becky saved his.
Yeah.
But
She is... Now she's going to be responsible for everything that has ever happened now. From moving on, it's like, oh, of course she did.
Well, of course Aunt Becky set that all up.
Fucking Aunt Becky.
well, and after he came out and he's saying how I just want to get back to work. Well, I think that ship has sailed, Jussie.
You don't think he's going to go back to his show?
I don't know.
They won't have him back.
You don't think so?
I think it's done.
No, I don't. You guys, I don't know. I think he's going to be back. Because if they don't have him back, it's going to be weirdy for the show, or the show's ratings are going to drop.
That's so true.
You know what I mean?
He wasn't, if he wasn't formally charged.
Well, totally. So what? Like then?
Yeah, but I mean, when you sign a contract to do a TV show like that, like there are all kinds of clauses. They don't need the law. They don't need any good reason. They can just, on a whim, they can just fire you.
Yeah.
I mean, if they think that you're going to be bad for business, then you're gone.
Yeah.
And I think that he's damaged now.
Absolutely.
So where can he go now?
Oh, it's just shade upon shade upon shade. And it gives me the just like heebie-jeebies in my tummy.
Yeah.
Just because, he used whatever happened. Because again, we don't know exactly all the details, and we never will know the full story. But it's just using, this hate crime to elicit empathy from the public. And, today is like Transgender Day of Visibility.
Yes,
and
It is.
on that, I would never... it doesn't put me in a position where I say, well, I won't believe you now. I won't believe you if you report something. I will still believe people when they report, when being victims of hate crime, which is happening.
Yeah.
So, it's a very unfortunate situation because it's putting people in that position. Like, well, he cried wolf. Am I going to believe all these people? But I will still believe people. Yes.
I don't think there are very many situations where people are lying about this kind of thing, and
exactly.
It's just not even worth it. Like, nobody's going to try this again, I hope, because they're going to say, yeah, but if you get found out,
you're going to
what happened to Jussie?
You're going to be like Aunt Becky.
Oh, totally.
Well, so don't try us.
Don't do it.
Hussies.
Don't do it. No. And also, side note on Aunt Becky, I just read a little something online that her daughter is not talking to her right now.
Oh, Olivia Jade is mad at the world.
She is mad.
Yeah, because she lost her Sephora. She's lost so much. I know she's having issues with YouTube as well.
Yeah.
She feels victim to all of this.
Totally.
Now, I just want to make sure everybody knows we're talking about this whole bribery scandal.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So Aunt Becky, who was, apparently paying off the right people to get her daughter into the best school, and now this is all crashed down all around them, and it's getting really nasty.
Oh, yeah. Completely.
Oh,
a lot of these kids in universities are getting expelled.
Yeah.
Because of what these, crooked parents and coaches and admissions people have done. So the truth will come out one day.
It
Tanny.
will.
That's right.
Yeah, don't matter how much money you have, boo.
Exactly.
Let's talk about streaming.
Let's.
if there's one thing that I want to bring it back to with our topic of travel,
It's watching TV.
I love a good road, and I love a good road trip.
Yeah.
And you know whose road trip I am loving right now?
Who?
Tell us.
Queer Eye.
Oh my
Yes.
The
God.
Fab Five.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They have been roaming. What state? One of those square states.
So
in the
they
middle.
they started in Atlanta.
Right.
That's where I feel like the first 2 seasons were.
Yes.
And now they are in Kansas City.
Right, Missouri, I think. Is it Kansas City, Missouri?
We don't know.
I don't know.
No one knows.
I don't. Who's to say?
Well,
Is there a Kansas City, Kansas?
I have no idea. Like U.S. geography.
Is Kansas City a state? We don't know these things.
Yeah, totally. It's like, you know what? When we travel to states and we tell people we're from Canada, they're always like, "Oh, whereabouts
Is
in
that
Canada?
by Russia?
Oh yeah. Or it's like, is that by Toronto?
Do you
yeah,
know
it's
Quebec language?
Yeah, totally.
Do you know Justin?
Do you speak English
Yes.
over there?
Oh, when I was in Australia, I loved telling people that we actually didn't use currency. We actually used ice.
Oh
And
my God!
so
that's
on
amazing.
warmer days, you better hurry up
That's it.
and spend
That's
it. And I used to tell people also that we didn't use the word pedestrian. We just said pedestrian.
Pedestrian.
That is amazing. Okay, I'm totally gonna use that.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna use it.
So when somebody's wearing like an off the rack sort of look, you can be like, that's so pedestrian. That's not opulent.
That's not opulent.
You own nothing.
I'm going to let you guys get away with that since I did delete our first podcast.
Yeah.
But let's talk
But
about
that was
the Fab
not
Five
opulent.
because
Yes.
this is season 3.
Yes,
Yeah.
3.
And they are super killing it right now. There were some really wonderful contestants
Yes.
this week. Coming on down, my favorite was the sisters.
Oh.
Now, did you watch this episode?
I sure do.
They were like little and
Shoddy.
Shorty and
Shorty.
little.
Yes.
Yeah, little and short.
And they own Jones Barbecue.
Yes.
And they were so sweet.
They were adorable.
Deborah
this-
and Mary.
Deborah and Mary.
Mary.
Mary. But how fun was it to watch them? And, you know, because they have been working in this little, tiny little shack of a barbecue restaurant. These are no
Hot.
skinny little ladies.
No.
Like, they are... I don't
They're
know how,
juicy.
They are juicy.
They're curvy. They are bumping into each other. I'm surprised there haven't been more, like, deep fryer incidents.
Yes, yeah.
And, you know... But also, they've just been hustling, trying to make a great life for their family.
Yes.
Well, for the
daughter.
For the daughter to put
Yeah.
her through school.
Yes.
It's incredible.
And the Fab Five saved the day.
And
They
preserving their father's barbecue sauce.
Legacy.
Who they were giving it out to the customers for free if they wanted extra sauce. They
Yeah,
were like, we're just
totally.
giving it away. And so, yeah, it was really beautiful that the Fab Five convinced them to package it up and that wasn't going to get lost. You know, their
Yeah.
father's secret recipe wasn't going to be compromised anyway, but it was just ensuring that they were set up financially.
Absolutely.
So what was wrong with that?
I have to say that I cry every single episode.
Yes.
It is a tearjerker. I laugh. I cry. Get all the feels.
Yes.
Which is
Yes.
amazing. And I feel like this show is so much better than the first Queer Eye because
Absolutely.
I feel like it's not just, you know, about style and making somebody kind of turn their whole life around in a way
Yes.
that's maybe not necessarily them.
Yes.
I feel like they are staying true to the people that they're making over. There's a story there. It's heartfelt. It's beautiful. And all the stories are so great, you know? The fashion makeovers are so good.
Yeah, and Tan did a great job on Lil.
Oh, yeah.
And what was her name again?
Shorty.
Shoddy.
Lil and Shorty looked so good. He had like everything popping where it needed to pop. They looked so confident. And then one of them got new teeth.
Oh my god.
Which
Oh,
was such
so
a
good.
moment. It was so great to watch it.
It was a beautiful moment.
She had a big old gold tooth, and I think
Yes.
there was a tooth that was missing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, you would see it in the very beginning of the show. She would start laughing or talking, and she would cover her mouth with her hand, so you couldn't see her teeth. And when they put those new white teeth in,
Oh my god, and how much she was crying. Oh my god, it was incredible.
it takes me back to Extreme Makeover.
right?
Do you remember?
Where they'd shave the teeth into those little nubs.
Oh my god.
Into the
I
shark
know.
teeth?
Yes.
That was, yeah.
So they could put the veneers in?
Yes.
Oh.
You know what? Speaking of like makeover shows, do you guys remember that Canadian makeover show, Styled by Jury?
Yes. I love that
Vaguely.
Oh my god. So they would have, somebody would nominate someone for a complete makeover. And so they would do the first interview. And what would happen is that there would be one of those windows.
Yeah, like a one-way mirror.
Yeah. And so in behind there would be like a judging panel.
Yes,
so they
I
would be
remember
like,
that. Yes,
and
yes.
on today's show, the judges include a secretary, a stay-at-home mom,
A waitress.
yeah, a landscaper. And then it's like, and then they would like basically judge the person
yes.
before they had their makeover, and then they would judge them after.
Oh, yes.
They would always, it was whenever they came out after the makeover, and they really went full in, like all new teeth,
Yeah.
Botox, hair, like whatever they needed, they got it done.
Laser eye surgery,
Laser
all
eye
the
surgery,
things.
always laser eye surgery.
Yeah.
And they would be, the juror, a new judging panel would come out, and it would probably include, like, a doctor. It would be,
like a complete turnaround. Yeah, totally.
But these people then, they would wait for this contestant to come out again, and they would say, "Oh, well, she looks like a CEO.
Yeah, totally.
She looks like she owns a Fortune 500 company.
Oh my
She's
God.
a businesswoman.
Yes.
Yeah, she is a success. Look at, she is probably turning men away by the dozen.
She owns 51% of this company.
That's right.
Henny.
Henny. It's such a good show. Sorry, that was another sidetrack, but we need to kind of maybe focus a little bit more on that show on another episode because it
we
is
shall.
so good.
And there's one on Netflix called 100% Hotter. And
The
that
UK
is-
version.
Yes.
Yes, that's a good one.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
we'll
we
get
need
to that.
into
So that's
We need
on
to get into
the
it.
homework list because it is so
Okay.
deliciously
Yeah.
trashy.
Ooh, okay.
And
Yeah.
we love trashy
It's going
shit.
to go in our
We do.
NOMOFOMO scribbler.
Yeah, yeah.
100%
Put it in there now.
hotter.
We're gonna put it.
But
in.
yes, in terms of like fashion, I mean, getting back to these makeovers, what Queer Eye does so well is they take the elements of a person and they don't try to change it; they just enhance it.
Absolutely.
So if a man is rocking a beard that is way too scruffy and way too Jesus been hanging out in the forest for too
Right.
long, they won't say you need to get clean shaven, you need to do this or that. They'll keep his beard, they'll keep his style, they'll keep elements of his or her personality.
Absolutely.
And so with I remember the first lady who was all about camo, which I was getting a little sick when I saw the amount of camo. I just
God, everything was camo. Every
She even had camo lingerie.
Yeah, she did. That tan wore. Remember tan wore?
Oh, and then he put it
and
on.
then he came
That
out
was
with it.
super
It was
funny.
so funny.
It's still making me a little queasy
Yeah.
because I can't handle that much camo. A little spot of it, sure.
Yes, of
it's fun,
course. Yes,
absolutely.
yes.
Especially when it's pink,
Oh my God, of course.
right? Exactly.
Yes.
It's like, you can't see me. I'm wearing pink camo. But anyway, but when they put her in a jeans and t-shirt
Oh my
and a
God.
little pump, and they just put her in a little kimono.
Those legs.
And she was glowing and spectacular. And that's what he said. He's like, you guys, this is jeans and a t-shirt. So sometimes it takes something that simple
Absolutely.
to transform somebody. And then Little and Shoddy, same thing. He just put them in fitted clothes.
Yes.
Even though they were juicy,
Yeah.
he put them in clothes that fit their bodies. And this is an epidemic amongst bigger women.
100%.
That they think that they have to put a tent over themselves or scarves or all these sort of accoutrements to cover up, their so-called problem areas. But then the thing is that it just makes it look like
You
you're
look
not fooling
bigger.
anyone.
No.
You look bigger, and it's really just drawing attention to those areas that you don't want attention drawn to.
Absolutely.
So, like all women, all men, love your body, know what works on it and wear what fits.
Totally.
Because at the end of the day, it's just like no one cares that you're bigger or smaller or whatever. It's just like wear what fits on your body and you will look so much better.
Absolutely. And just going back to the last makeover, so the two sisters, he dressed them so well, but all of a sudden they started walking
Yes.
better. They just had all of this like charisma and all of this like positive vibes.
They felt hot.
They felt
did.
so good,
They did.
and they were just. It was magical what happened as soon as they dressed in things that actually fit them and made
Yes.
them look good.
Yes.
Their whole vibe changed.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is something that's so important that I think everybody should take into, like what you said, is like dress for your body type and dress proper. You want to look good every single day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want to look at it in the things that you have. And I know Jason and I have worked on a few makeovers in our day. We did a little what not to wear kind of thing, and I did that with my best friend Roz too.
Yes.
And it was honestly one of the best things, because when you get to see how someone's outlook changes just based on what they're wearing, it's magical.
Well, and at the end of the day, I think that people dress according to a set of rules that they've picked up along the way somewhere, and it could be something that your mom told you, or your grandma told you, or society told you, or whatever.
Very true.
People, they just need a little bit of a boot to break the rules, and you know what? Try something on.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Try
That's
it
number
on.
one. Try it on.
Yeah. Totally.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I
but I
couldn't
couldn't wear
like
that. I couldn't wear it.
You know what?
Yeah.
Put it on and go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Totally.
Let's
Yeah.
just stop.
Hallelujah. Well,
Hallelujah.
and they did that with Jess. She was on the episode called Black Girl Magic.
Yes.
And this was just a truly heartbreaking, but then heartwarming story at the same time. She was disowned by her adoptive family for coming out. And the fact that I can't even fathom that. I can't even fathom that as a mother. That doesn't exist in my world. So, she's had a hard go of it. So she had to create a family of her own with her friends, and also through her look. She was just saying that she's broke and she's not really caring about her look or whatever. But then they set her up with like the hottest haircut.
Oh my God, it was
she
so
worked
good.
some Janelle Monáe like androgynous fierceness, and she looks so good. And Janelle Monáe herself actually called her out on Instagram.
Oh my God.
And
that's lovely.
oh, so good.
So good. So good. Yeah. The show is all about positivity.
Yes.
And that's what I love about it. And it's fun and it's lighthearted, and the lessons are always great. And talk about the whole package. They also then go inside and do the design. They make over their bedrooms or their living rooms, or sometimes both, and kitchens. And Bobby Burke, that is the design expert on the show, is incredible.
He really
Honestly,
is.
He does a bang-up job every single time. The looks are always modern and edgy and fun, but still work with the whole concept of whoever that person is, right?
Exactly.
For real life.
Yes, for real life. It is not like he's putting $10,000 sofas in there. They are livable spaces, which I think is so important. And, me being an interior designer, that's something that we strive to do in all of the interiors that we design, is to make them so that they are a reflection of our client's personality, and I think that's so important. And it's just like how, if you feel good in something that you're wearing, you're going to feel great when you live in a beautiful space. If you're living in a space that's messy and ugly and cluttered and all of this stuff, it's like you're going to wake up every single day and look at that mess, and it's not going to do nothing for you, But you tidy up your space, you do a little paint, you do a little artwork on the walls, you get a little zhuzh, that's, it honestly helps your whole demeanor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what? Snaps for the
1000%.
Queer Eye guys.
Yes.
Woo!
Yes.
Now, and after you finish listening to all of our podcasts, you can start watching Queer Eye Season 3.
Yes.
That's
How
right.
about that?
How about that?
Now, on the topic of travel, I wanted to find a list. You know how I like a list.
We love lists.
I love a good list.
Uh-huh.
And so I've actually found a new tool for our list making
Okay.
week. It's super exciting. It's called Ranker.com.
Ranker, get into it.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. Basically, and what's great is that Ranker, it's a continuous vote. So they have all these different topics, and you get to vote, like, that should be higher on the list, that should be lower on the list.
Love voting.
I love voting. And so it's like, it's the best. So now they've got all these different categories on here. They've got entertainment, music, nerdy stuff, sports, whatever.
Ew.
And I
Gross.
found, I know,
We're never gonna
sports.
look
do
at
that to
those
me.
lists. Yeah, we're never gonna look at those lists. Unless it could be something about like hot sports guys or something.
Well, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll take a look and see if that's a list on here. But the one that I found for this week is the top tourist traps.
Ooh.
Okay.
I think
Right.
we've all been
Right.
to a tourist trap.
Or
Yeah,
two.
so we're gonna bring it back into the TRAVELSODE that
Okay.
we promised.
Okay.
And there's a whole bunch. I'm gonna just narrow it down to 10.
Okay.
That we can
okay,
talk about a
okay.
little bit quickly. So number 10, I have to admit, when this first came up, I was like, where the hell is that?
Yeah.
So it's an area, have you ever heard of Pat Pong?
Pat Pong.
Pat Pong.
Pat Pong?
Pat Pong?
Pat Pong.
Who's she?
Who's she? Who
Pat
dat?
Pong
Who dat?
is Bangkok's red light district.
Oh my
Oh.
Yes. So
Lady boy.
yeah, apparently we're not going there.
God. You're a
Not
lady
going
boy,
Pat Pong.
I'm a lady dog.
Number 9, I have also not been to, but I have heard of.
Yeah.
It is called the Four Corners.
What?
Do you know what this is?
Why?
No.
So
why?
there
Who?
is
Why?
a point in the US and A where 4 states meet.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
So what,
so-
people just go there and take photos?
They do.
Oh
yeah,
God.
and it's a landmark. So there's like New Mexico, there's Arizona, Utah, and Colorado.
Thank
Ew.
you, next.
And they all meet, and apparently, people stand, and there'll be like 4 people in each state, and they're holding hands, or people lay on that center. Like, anyway.
And they
That's
put it on
so-
Instagram, and they're like,
totally.
"Oh my god, look at him in 4 states." I will never go there.
No, we're not going
gross.
I don't
No.
understand the question, and I refuse to
Yeah,
answer it.
totally.
Number 8, I thought I actually wanted to go to.
Yes.
I thought this would be a really cool place to visit.
Okay.
But it's not, I guess.
Okay.
According to Ranker. It's Salem.
Oh my God, I would love to go there. What's so bad
Salem,
about it?
Massachusetts. Well, they have the Witch Museum.
Yes.
As a whole thing.
What did you
But-
call me?
How dare you? How dare
No,
you?
apparently it is super, super busy, and, everything is overpriced, and it's just not worth it.
I would go there just so that I could just say, "Witch, please."
Witch, please.
Witch, please.
When I'm looking at all the overpriced witch hats.
Oh my God, totally. I would be buying those spell books.
Oh, yes.
I would totally buy a spell book.
Put a spell on
Oh, you could have like a scarlet letter of A,
Yes, yeah.
right?
Oh my God, 100%.
There you go. I don't know. Maybe we might go there.
I would
just,
love
just
to
to
go there.
entertain
Just to
ourselves.
Yes. Always
Number 7, I
entertaining.
also wanted to go to,
Okay.
you guys. Graceland.
Oh.
So-
You've always wanted to go there?
Well, I thought it'd be kind of cool. I mean, I wouldn't make a special trip to go there, but I guess if I was in the region, I would be like,
Yeah.
hey, let's go check out Graceland.
So where's Graceland?
Graceland?
Nah,
I think
Memphis.
Memphis.
in Tennessee.
Memphis,
Yeah.
Tennessee.
So it apparently it's like $30, and the most excellent part is seeing that he had 2 TVs in his rec room. So,
Oh God.
enough of that.
Okay.
I could totally understand how that wouldn't do it
It'd
for
be-
you. It'd be like you'd see a couple guitars and a couple jumpsuits, but
And then
it's just a house.
Yeah.
you know what?
Thank you,
They
next.
get worse.
Okay.
Number 6, again, is something a place I'd never heard of. Benoa. Do you know what Benoa is?
Who's she?
Yeah.
Benoa
Who
is
dat?
in Bali, in
Oh,
Indonesia.
okay.
Bali.
And so this is their description for it. It says, if you've got a fetish for dead coral,
Oh,
this is
girl.
the place for you. Benoa's murky water has hardly any fish, and every D-bag on a jet ski is about 5 feet away.
Oh, that's so sad.
You don't want to
so
go.
sad.
Those are the saddest
Shameful.
ones that are like the most beautiful. They're supposed to be beautiful and
And then
magical.
people go and wreck them.
and they're all wrecked.
Yeah, you think you're gonna have your Moana fantasy?
Yeah, but that's not what you
No.
live.
Yeah,
And
we're
I
not
think
going.
number 5 is pretty similar, and I think we've all been there. Cancun.
Yes.
Oh, gross.
Yeah,
I went to
know.
Cancun when I was 21. I went with my best friend and my brother.
Mm-hmm.
And the craziest thing happened to me in Cancun, y'all.
What? What?
We went to a club, and I believe it was called Senior Frogs. And
Classy.
yeah, it was an insane club where they had I don't know, soap suds and everything under the
Oh,
sun was
That's
falling from the thing. It was
opulent.
opulent, girl. But I had way too many drinks and decided to go home. And I thought I was getting on a bus that was going to take me to my hotel. No, I basically got on a transit bus, y'all, and fell asleep on the bus, woke up, and it was complete darkness. I didn't know where I was,
Oh my god.
what was happening. I had to run up to the bus driver and tell him that I need to go back to the city.
Yeah.
And he just basically just was like, well, I don't know. And he couldn't speak any English, and I did not know a word of Spanish. Mexican. So, so yeah, he basically told me to get off, and I had to
no.
walk. And it was like a highway. And it was dark, and I was walking, and basically sobbing.
That is so scary.
All my money was gone.
Oh.
I know, but I made it back. There was a cab, which I'm like, seriously, God was like looking down on me that day because I got in a cab, took me to the hotel, and then, of course, I got to the hotel, and my brother and my best friend were sitting there, and they're like, "What happened to you?" And I'm like,
"Where did you go?"
I'm like,
Were you in the
bathroom? I just about died. I just about died.
I know. Whatever, go to bed.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. I'm so sorry to hear that.
But that was when I was 21 and was one of those things. But I don't think I'd ever go back to Cancun.
I don't want to go back either. I went there once, and it was honestly like white people get off the plane, white people get on a bus, white people get driven to the hotel, white people eat and drink their faces off, white people get back on the bus, and white people get on the plane.
Yeah, it is.
And that was it. And I was, no thank you.
No, level 5 fanny pack.
No
not
gracias.
for me.
No, gracias.
Number 4, also, well, this one's kind of funny. The Blarney Stone.
Ireland.
So do you have to kiss the Blarney Stone? Is
You
that
do.
the whole thing?
Upside down like Spider-Man.
Upside down.
Why?
Because apparently it gives you the gift of gab. So you're in Ireland. You could just go and have a few pints of Guinness.
How about that?
And then you will have the gift of gab. You don't have to kiss some nasty fucking stone that like 10,000 people that day have kissed. And somebody doesn't have to put you upside down.
You're also getting the gift of a cold sore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number 3, this one we wouldn't have done anyway, but Roswell, New Mexico.
UFOs, all that.
Basically, everything that can be shaped like an alien or a UFO is shaped like an alien or a UFO. And that's kind of where it stops. It says everything is also covered in a thick layer of dust. So just don't bother. And I don't even think anything is near there. So this is like a destination.
You would need to go there just
it's
to
like
go there.
Area 51, right?
Yeah, Areola 51.
Exactly, which is my former drag name, which is Areola 51.
Oh my god, that's perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Areola 51.
She's out of this world.
Yes.
But since I went to Disney, I came up with a new drag name.
Which is?
Hatuna Matatas.
Oh my god, that's
so
epic.
I'll be practicing and rehearsing.
Epic.
Did you get the URL? hatunamatatas.com?
I should.
.org.
I'm sure there might, you know what? I mean, it is the internet. There might be another Hatuna out there. But I honestly did think of that on my own.
I love that.
I know. Aunt Becky's not my mom.
No, girl.
I know how to do things by myself.
That's right.
I had a drag name that I found out. I actually did search it, and there was somebody who was already using the name.
Oh.
But I still kind of want to use it anyway.
It's fine.
Because it's so good. And
what is it?
Amber Alert.
Woo!
That's right.
I love that.
Do not get that twisted.
I love that.
Keep your eyes open for Amber Alert.
Where is she?
Allie, what's your drag name?
Well, my drag name was given to me by our really good friend Ed, and whose drag name is Winnie Wong Wei, which is pretty epic. That's a
Winnie
good one.
Wong Wei.
But mine is Jasmine Aladdin.
Woo! A whole new world.
That's it.
It is a whole new
That is
world.
it. Yeah.
That is such an epic name. It is so good.
Jasmine Aladdin. That's what you get.
I can show you the way.
A little Muslim princess.
We've got 2 more places. We've got 2 more to go on this list.
Okay.
Number 2,
Quoi?
the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
No, thank you.
gross.
No.
I've been there.
Isn't that whole street weirdy anyway? With just
it's full of
people
creeps.
and
It's full of people dressed like, there's like the naked cowboy is there. There are people dressed like,
like mannequins or something, or like statues.
Yeah, the head to toe green Lady Liberties that you stand and you get your photo and they want $1.
Will Angeline come? Do you know Angeline?
No.
She's like she's like basically like poor man's Amanda Lepore, but she basically drives like a pink Trans Am or a Corvette or something like that.
And she's in LA.
Yeah, and she just basically like goes around and takes pictures, and she dresses head to toe pink, and she's had way more plastic surgery than Jocelyn
Gildenstein.
Exactly.
Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah. So Google
We need
her.
to look
Get
her
into
up.
her.
Well, okay, maybe we'll go to the Hollywood Walk of Fame just in the hopes that we'll see her.
Who knows? I mean, she's kind of a legend, so I don't know if she stoops that low.
Right.
But I did go to the Walk of Fame actually with my family years ago, and my brother, he's like a total shit disturber. So somebody was, handing out pamphlets, and they're like, "Are you happy in your life? Are you okay?" And And, you know, my brother, of course, was going along with it. And he's like, no, I really need help. And they're like, come into the Church of Scientology. Let's run a quiz. So we had to fucking sit in the Church of Scientology.
No, you did
Yes,
not.
we did. Yes, we did. While he did his Xenu quiz to see what aliens were like living inside of him. And he had so much fun because he just played these people so
my
fucking
God.
hard.
Well, you know what? That's it.
So
That's
there you
it.
go.
So there you go.
It was a free entertainment for him.
And how is the Church of Scientology working out for him now?
He never joined,
Oh,
so I think maybe things would have worked out better. I mean, you know, like Tom Cruise is doing great. There's nothing wrong there.
No, not at all.
Okay, and the number one biggest tourist trap, guys. Do you have any guesses?
No, give us a hint.
Okay, well, I guess there's so many places. It is Plymouth Rock,
Who's she?
right? That would be a terrible drag name. But I love the way Ranker describes it. They said, ready to have your mind blown? Plymouth Rock is just a rock.
So we go to look at a rock?
So people go and look at a rock.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, I know there's some historical significance, but, you know what, we're not going.
Is it in the States?
Yes.
In
What
the
state?
I don't know.
Kansas City state?
No, I feel like it's kind of near a body of water because I feel like that's where the first pilgrims or
So
whatever
it's like Thanksgiving
came.
realness.
Yes, totally, like that.
Okay.
Yeah, with the hats and the shoes.
So
you know?
like Amish opulence.
Yes, opulence. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I just asked St. Google.
Okay.
And it is in Massachusetts.
I was right.
You were right.
Okay, well, I won't go there.
Massachusetts.
One time I was watching like Maury or something, as I do because I'm elegant and classy.
Right.
And they were asking this girl on it if she ever had a three-way. And then she goes, of course, I'm from Boston.
Ooh.
So
wow.
I'll go to Massachusetts for the three-way.
Well, there you go. I'll go to Boston though.
Sure,
Don't
absolutely.
get it twisted. I would love to go to Boston.
Allie, you're married. Don't forget. Kiki Carla can do all the dirties she wants on the Eastern Seaboard. You cannot.
I just said I want to go to Boston.
Yeah,
Nobody
also she
about
said
doing-
that it's like the home of the three-ways.
Oh, right. Oh, my God. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was actually thinking in my head, I was like, oh, my God, the architecture is going to be so beautiful. Yeah, totally.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that was a fun list. I love that.
Yeah, we're going to find some really good ones moving ahead now that I have ranker.com.
Thank you,
There you go.
Ranker.
Yeah.
Promo code
Thanks.
NOMOFOMO.
No kidding.
Okay, so this is the point in the show where we need to do our little review of RuPaul's Drag Race. So if you're not watching the show, or if you don't want a spoiler, this might be where you need to sign off.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
We love you.
We love you.
Get your shit together and watch this weekly and on time.
Totally.
Exactly.
Because we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
So we have missed 2 weeks because we
2
did
weeks.
have a little hiatus, and we have a lot to talk about.
We do. Okay, so the Orange Alert episode,
Yes.
where
The
they
Amber
did
Alert.
the Amber Alert, right? They're already stealing your ideas. They did
Story
the
line
Orange
live.
Runway, and that was also the Maxi Challenge was the Trump Rusical. So last episode, you weren't too sure about this.
I know I was feeling a little bit of anxiety over the Trump Rusical because the reason why we love shows like Drag Race is because we're not learning about the news.
Exactly.
There's no
We're not
agenda.
hearing about Trump.
Yes, totally.
We're like, we just need to put that away for a little while. But they brought it to us. But
Absolutely.
they actually brought it to us in a really fun way.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was all the women in Trump's life. So it was Kellyanne Conway, it was Omarosa, it was Melania, it was
Yes.
Ivanka, and it was hilarious. Like they basically were singing about Trump from a Greece perspective.
It was
So
awesome. Yeah.
absolutely. And the fact that they called him cheese frightening instead of grease lightning was so good. So
Who were our faves?
Brooklyn Heights.
Yeah.
I mean, she's coming out so hard.
She keeps killing it.
She
So
was
good.
Ivanka, and
Yeah.
she made all of the big plastic surgery facial expressions, and then she was doing her arabesque. It It was so good. And Giannis Marshall was the choreographer.
Yeah.
Fuck me. He was bringing it so hard.
They had a lot of choreo to do.
It was hard. It was a lot.
You know what? This season is insanity. Like, all of the things they have to do.
Yes.
Like, I would really love to know exactly how much time they have to rehearse and how much time they actually take with the choreographer to teach them. Because, of course, we're watching and the episodes are, what, like an hour and a half-ish or something? But it's like, I just, you know, you need a lot of time in order to get all the choreo. And when you're watching the full thing, when they do the reveal, it's like...
Isn't it like 2 days? Isn't an episode about 2 days?
I'm not too sure. I could look into it. I think it
feel like I would
depends
need
on...
2 weeks to learn those steps.
It's kind of crazy, yeah.
But Michelle Visage was saying that, you know, even in terms of getting, like, the guest judges and whatnot, sometimes they'll work on somebody. They worked on Gaga for, like, 4 years because they couldn't get the schedules to line up.
Right.
So, yeah, I think there's a lot to do with it. But you're right. Like, every single girl on their exit interview is like, this is the hardest thing ever. Like, people say that, but it is so insanely difficult. They're only sleeping, you know, a couple hours a night because when they go back to the hotel room, they're still working on their looks.
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then they have to memorize the lip sync song. They have to do all of that.
Yes.
And then maybe they're going to have a Kiki.
So there's that.
Well,
this is a new thing.
Brooklyn and Miss Vanjie.
Now, Brangie.
They're having a homance.
Oh, girl.
Oh, we are so here for that. They are so sexy.
I can't believe this is the first time in, 11 seasons that this has happened?
That we know of.
That we know
of. But
yes.
I feel like we would have heard about something. If
Well,
that
we
would
knew
have
that
happened,
Sharon Needles and Alaska used to be a couple.
Well, yeah,
although they weren't on the same season.
They weren't on the same season, no. But this is the first time that there's ever been a little...
Like a
the
real
romance,
live Kiki.
Yeah.
I know, and they keep smooching each other.
We're here for that.
Yeah, like it's cute.
Absolutely.
It is cute. I just find the kissing is just getting a little obnoxious now. And I know that they're cutting it just obviously because it's you know, just for the show. But I'm like, okay, we get it. They're together. Let's move on.
And I think they're trolling us on Instagram right now because they're putting a lot of
yes, they are
cutesy pictures.
Yeah,
but I'm here for that.
Totally.
Well,
you know.
So what's going to happen is next week we're going to find out that they have this spectacular breakup, and then on Instagram they're going to be like, "It's over."
Oh my goodness!
6 months ago.
Maybe.
Wow.
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
no,
it's an emotional roller coaster.
I'll take it.
I'll take it
so
any
many
day.
ups and downs.
So
but
they
who went away last week?
So
I have to remember. This is going back a couple weeks. Like I don't remember what happened this morning.
It was our Muslim queen Mercedes Iman Appellant Diamond.
Yeah.
And you know what? At the end of the day, I mean, she's. I watched her exit interview with Michelle Visage, and she has been through it. I mean, she's come so far to get to that point.
Right.
But in terms of her health struggles and what she's been through, she just wasn't at that level of competition. No. She's a fierce fucking lip syncer and a fierce drag queen.
Yeah.
And it was just so fabulous to see her representing and being the first Muslim on Drag Race. So snaps, we love you.
We love Muslims.
Yay! So she went home. The winner of the runway was Silky Nutmeg Ganache Unicorn Frappuccino Pumpkin Spice Latte.
Who we love again. We're on again off. She is like a bad boyfriend.
A roller coaster.
She really is. But you know what? She is getting that airtime, and she's doing it right. Because even if she was to be eliminated next week, she has made such an impact in this season that she's already done it. You know what I mean?
She's fun. She's a funny queen.
She is funny, and
which
I feel
will
like
always breed success.
Yeah, she's funny, but I also feel like she's smart about the way that she's doing things. And yes, she's obnoxious sometimes, but I feel like she's just a smart queen. Like, she came in there, guns a-blazing, knowing exactly what she wanted to get 100%. Out of it, and she's going to get everything out of it.
She sure will.
And let's talk about her makeup, because it is incredible every single time. It is so good. She looks fierce every time.
She should be in drag every day.
All day.
All
day.
She should.
Get on that Silky.
Now let's talk about this week's episode that just passed.
Yes.
Now this was also a really good episode.
Oh, they threw a ball, a monster ball. It was so good. So the mini challenge was they had to read off a teleprompter, which we all know is not easy. Is not as easy as it looks.
No, it's horrible. And
so it was called "Why You Maddow Thou?" So they had to dress up as Rachel Maddow, and our girl Brooklyn Heights almost looked exactly the same. name as Rachel Maddow. So that was adorable.
And there's it's so hard reading off a teleprompter.
It sure is.
And there were so many words and alliterations that were going on that it was like, it was funny to watch, actually, because there were so many mishaps that happened.
Well, and then we realized that Vanjie cannot read the word sophisticated. So it was like,
and what was the other one? That silky
Colonel.
Oh my God.
Colonial. And then she knew that the colonel or the colonel had something to do with KFC. So she's like, fuck it, I'm just calling it KFC.
KFC, yeah,
so
totally.
The next time you see the word colonel, you just say KFC. That's it.
People will get it.
Exactly.
People will get it.
So then we went on to the Monster Ball. So they had 3 looks. And Monster Balls, I'm living for this. Normally they don't do the balls until later on because there's so many goddamn looks.
Right.
And also...
It's hard to remember everything.
Oh my God,
100%. Absolutely. Good thing I don't pay attention to my children. I just think about this.
You're all about drag.
Exactly.
Yes. You know what? Priorities.
Well, I've done enough.
Well, you know what? There's that.
You know?
You took them to Disneyland, for God's sake.
You gotta have your time.
I bought myself 5 years.
There you go.
Okay, so the first runway was Trampy Trick-or-Treater. And we all know this girl. We've all seen her at the bar. I'm a slutty nurse. I'm a slutty cat. I'm a slutty mouse.
I'm a slutty handmaid.
Yeah, totally.
That's my favorite right now.
So Plastique totally killed us with that. She was actually like a Playboy bunny.
Yeah, she was
It was so good.
Gorgeous.
And then our girl, Brooklyn Heights, she was a sexy mummy, and she walked down the runway. Tell the children.
On point.
So good. She was on point.
Oh, my
She
God,
moves,
on point.
She moves so beautifully.
Oh my God,
stunning.
She's a stunner. And I am just living for her because she is Canadian and she's killing it. And her moves are spectacular.
She's representing us so well.
She is.
Thank you, Brooklyn.
Thank you.
So our second look was Witch Please.
Witch Please.
So we already talked about how we would love that. So of course everyone had their witch looks, and some of them were really good. Like Evie Oddly's was so good. It was like
God,
really
incredible.
couture, and there were some not so good ones like Ariel Versace was just a hot mess. It was just like a saloon girl.
She's just kind of, we know what happened to her.
Well, exactly. And then Vanjie, she comes out and then she does a little bit of reveal, and she's got a couture runway look. And then of course, like she said, this is not your regular Party City look. And then of course, she's walking and then she's got the like hands on her hips. She's got her shoulders forward, her elbows forward. She's doing that haute couture posing, and then, gives us the line of the season so far. Then she said, and I'm wearing a fascinator for the subtlety.
There you go. There it is.
So Vanjie's all about subtlety,
yes,
apparently.
Her
with
voice.
that loud ass
Oh
voice.
my God.
I love when they voice over the looks as they come out. Like, she came out in that Victoria's Secret look.
Yes.
And she had the
With
wings,
the wings,
and she looked really beautiful.
Oh.
And then her voice, and she's like, I am Victoria's Secret! And she is screaming. And all I could think was, imagine we're Brooklyn. Vanjie is whispering sweet nothings into your ear.
Oh my God. But is it whispering? Because I don't even think she can whisper.
Oh, that would be, she is aggressive.
She is aggressive.
Vanjie
totally.
saying, give me that Canadian bacon, Brooklyn.
Give me that Canadian bacon, Brooklyn!
Yes. That's perfect. Oh my God.
Oh, I love it.
So good.
And then our final look, which we love, it was where the girls had to actually design it themselves, sew it themselves,
I am
which
so
we
happy.
love so much.
So happy that that's coming back, because
Totally.
I feel like for so long, these queens were just coming with these $1,000 gowns, and there was no hot glue, there was no bedazzling, there was none of that. There was no crafternoon realness, which I'm like, you know what? You need to bring that back.
100%.
Because that's why I love that show so much, and that's what makes a really good queen. Because anybody can go buy a fucking $1,000 gown or have a designer make it for you. That's great. But a good drag queen should know how to do it herself.
Thank you.
That's it.
That's the definition of bitch, after all.
100%.
Being in total control of herself.
Yes.
So,
Hanny.
So we had Brooklyn with another amazing look, even though it was black and she had a snake wrapped around her neck, which we've all been there. But
As long as
if
it's
I
not
could only count the times.
So Kiki Carla is okay with a snake being wrapped around her neck, but not a T-shirt.
No.
That is a little
not a scratchy T-shirt. No, thank you.
Not low quality
That's
content.
right. No.
Touching.
No. A boa constrictor shirt.
Yes.
Fine.
That's giving me like, oh my God, what is that? Not toxic, but Britney when she had the snake
Slave
around
for
her.
You.
Oh,
Slave.
love
Any
that
day.
video so much.
Anytime, any day.
Oh.
Our Britney episode is coming. It's
Oh
going
my
to be a
God,
special
I'm ready.
one.
I'm living for it.
So Brooklyn, she was the winner.
She was the winner.
And her look was amazing. Even though it was simple, it was her charisma that
Yes.
sold it. She walked down like she was a Victorian widow who just, lost her 7th billionaire husband.
Yes.
It was everything.
Because when it comes down to fashion, and I feel like the winners, it came down to Brooklyn and it came down to Plastique. Because I
and
feel
Evie
like
Oddly too.
and Evie Oddly, but I feel like Plastique just didn't have the charisma.
Exactly.
Her looks were unfucking believable. She
So
looked
good.
great. Her makeup was beautiful.
Yes.
But yeah, I just feel like she didn't have the charisma.
Can I tell you who stole the show for me?
Who?
Elvira.
Completely.
Yeah. Her
So
one-liners.
good.
Love her.
Her one-liners are.
Do you guys
stellar.
remember watching
Yes.
Mistress of the Dark?
Yes.
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 That was one of the funniest movies of that day. What was it, like probably the 90s or 80s?
Yeah, it was
so
like late
hilarious.
80s because
Yeah.
my brother watched it.
Late 80s.
And do you know, I had to look it up. Do you know how old she is? She's 67 years old.
Oh my God.
And she looks amazing.
Wow.
I mean, obviously, Elvira is a character, right? Like,
course.
she's not living as the
I wanna-
Mistress of the Dark.
I want to know what she looks like.
She's got red
just
hair.
as a normal person.
And her
Right.
name is Cassandra.
Oh my God! No, it is not.
Yes, it is.
Cassandra,
Cassie.
Cassie. What do you think that she like? What is she doing? What does she do?
I don't think
Like
she has to do. I think she's probably just living a perfectly nice life, and
Well,
she
clearly
gets
she's-
to. She's. Think she's probably retired. Like I don't think she has a huge IMDb page that she's falling back on. But
Maybe she does Comic-Con a lot.
Oh,
Probably.
maybe. Yeah. That's true.
she's probably sending those birthday messages that you can pay
the
somebody like
cameos.
$50 for.
Yes.
That's so
exactly.
fun.
Or, but I mean,
Next
look,
year when your birthday comes around, if we don't forget it again.
Oh,
Oh, sorry, still.
you have to bring that up. God, Jason.
We're going to get you a message from Elvira.
I would love that.
You should be her for Halloween.
Well, now that's third in line
Yeah, there's already the Molly Ringwald.
in her amazing
Oh my
grad
God,
dress.
Totally. Yes.
Iconic fashion moment.
Yes, fashion.
And then there's Stephanie Seymour from
November Rain.
Rain.
Yeah.
So that's got to get in line. Maybe y'all can be it.
Maybe we need to have
Yes.
a contest and ask our listeners.
Voting.
Oh, yes.
Let's do a
Okay,
vote.
Yeah. We'll put
Yeah.
it on our Facebook page, and when it comes closer to Halloween, we will kind of maybe have 3 things each, and then
Yes.
we'll let the listeners decide what
Yeah.
we should be for Halloween.
Yeah,
That
we're
is
still
so
we're
good.
still what, like 6 months out from Halloween.
Yeah, but you know
So-
what? It's never too early.
Never.
It's never too early to start thinking.
And it's also April. I used to throw a halfway to Halloween party.
No, you
in
did
April.
not.
Yes, I did.
Oh my God,
Yes,
I love you
did.
for that.
Thank you.
Let's do it.
Yes, absolutely.
That'd be fun.
This is what. Yeah, I actually went as Milli Vanilli.
Oh my,
A long
We've
time
done that.
We've done that
I remember.
too.
Yeah. So much fun, and that's where I went as Wheels from Degrassi Junior High.
Oh my
Wheels.
God.
Wheels.
With the glasses?
Oh, with everything.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah,
How'd you
it
do your
was
hair?
so nasty. I actually had a wig,
A wig, and you were wheels.
had the glasses.
Oh my
I
God.
had the big old Nikes with the tongues come
Oh yeah,
out.
totally. And then the light faded jean.
Yes, yeah.
Do you
I didn't
remember?
have a boyfriend back then. I wonder why.
Weird.
It's
So weird.
Yeah, oh my God. Oh, so good.
Because I wasn't a slutty nurse
Oh, yeah.
or a slutty
Oh, no.
mouse.
Like a slutty Ariel Versace.
Yes.
But see, this is the thing with Jason and I, because I always want to go as a couple's costume for Halloween. Like I always can try to convince Jason.
And you
want
want to look cute.
Well, yeah, like I want to look cute. I don't want to look like sexy, but I want to look cute.
Yeah,
you know?
sure,
Like
yeah.
I don't want. Jason wants to always be like I don't know, guts coming out
Yeah.
of his like belly and like all this blood and gore.
Gory,
and-
hoary.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I want to be a scary clown.
And I'm not about
yeah.
that. Except we did go as zombie golfers when we were
That
in
was
Palm
so
Springs.
good.
That was fun.
And that was fun. That was really fun. And see, I could do that, but it's just like going as like a I don't know, clowns, first of all, make me feel super weirdy.
Agreed.
And I feel like I don't think, if Jason was a scary clown, I don't think I would ever be able to look at him the same way again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of
Oh
those.
no, we would be making out. I would figure out a way to seduce you.
Or you could do Nina's look, her final look when she tore off that fake plastic, and then she had that like gashed out,
totally
red mouth.
Totally.
That was so good.
It was almost like like the mouth was like closed, and it was just like
honorable mention to her as well, because she had a little shop of horrors.
She's coming around.
She really is.
I love the honorable mention.
Definitely.
And we're getting down. I mean, they're starting to get knocked off. So
we're
Ariel
top 10
went home.
now.
Ariel went home. We're going to be coming up to some big episodes. Snatch Game has got to be around the corner.
Oh,
absolutely.
For sure.
And that, I think, is a make or break moment for these queens. So fingers crossed that they actually bring it and have maybe practiced.
Oh, I know. It's so stupid when drag queens come on the show and they don't know what they're going to be and they haven't practiced.
Exactly.
It's a mind blow to me, because
It
it's
can't
like,
be real.
you know that it's coming.
Yes.
You know that it's coming.
Yes.
Just get it straight and do something fun.
Or they just try to make a celebrity funny who's not inherently funny.
Like Beyonce.
Yeah, it's you know what? It's true. Beyonce has been done 3 or 4 times,
Yeah,
and
like
it's
3
always
times.
been epic fails.
Exactly.
They've been horrible. So don't even do that anymore.
I don't know why they're trying.
Don't.
For sure. Who would you be on Snatch Game?
Ooh. Oh my god. Oh jeez.
I'll go.
Okay.
I would be. Again, things I think about. I don't think about like my grocery list or anything like that. I think about these kinds of things. So this is why I'm an excellent mother. So I would actually be Daryl Hannah in Splash.
Oh
like
my
I'd be
god.
Madison.
That would
I
be
would
so
be
good.
Perfect.
The mermaid.
That is perfect. That
And
is
all
really
I could
good.
just do is say ee, and that's it. I wouldn't have to talk.
I need to think about this for next week's cast.
Okay.
Let's talk
let's
about
come
it.
back to this.
Think
because
about
I
it.
don't want to undersell something and
I know
then
what you
get
mean.
kicked off.
Right? Exactly.
No, I need to give this some thought proper.
Oh my god.
And then you'll come back.
I'm
sorry to all of my clients this week. I'm not going to be able to help you.
You know what? I think I know.
this.
I think I know what I would be.
Beyonce.
No, well, oh my god, yes. But I would be Jay Manuel from
Yes.
America's Top Model.
Yes.
Well,
good
because you already
one.
look like him, so there you go.
What are you saying? That's not a good one?
It is because
it's
it would
excellent.
make sense because
Yeah.
you kind of look like him already.
Yeah. That's what I think I would be.
I love it.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
We've got a lot of homework ahead of us for next week. What's our segment going to be about next week?
We really need to talk about movies.
Movies.
Yes, I really want to talk about, like, we all have the movies that everyone knows and obsesses about, or even songs, but then we hate,
Yes.
Like, we need that. We need
Okay.
that sort of,
All right.
like, that mint chocolate chip sort of situation. I want to talk
the
about
love,
that.
hate.
Okay, so let's talk about it. And we'll put it on social media and find out what are people's little cult favorites that need a
cult
little
classics.
bit of airtime.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the opposite. So, I mean, we need to talk about Grease too, finally. Thank you. I've been waiting for this since episode 1. We need to talk about the art house underground cult masterpiece that is Grease 2.
Okay.
That is like, doesn't get enough love in pop culture.
All
So,
right.
yeah, what are your other movies and songs that don't get enough love?
Okay. Well, yeah, let's put it
well,
out there.
We
and
have
send,
some work to do.
Send us all your messages.
Or, as an alternative, I'll just delete this entire podcast. And we can do it one more. Third time's the charm.
Third time's the charm. Dang it. Let's not
I'm not
jinx
gonna do that.
anything.
I'm
Let's
not
not
gonna do
jinx
that.
anything.
Okay.
Promo code autosave.
There you go. There you go. 100%. Always. #autosave.
And with that, thanks, y'all.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. You made it this far. You're a champion. We love you.
We love you
do
so
love you.
much.
Subscribe, like, share, all the things.
Comment,
Spread
call,
the love.
Comment,
Leave
call
a
us.
review.
write a postcard.
Totally. Oh my god. Always postcards.
Text Carla a Giphy and let her know what
And a
you think.
Mimi.
And
Text me all the Mimis.
All the memes. See you next week, guys.
oh my god. Bye.
Love you. Everybody say love.
Love.
Everybody say